Hi team, welcome to Cloud Pandit. In this Azure Data Factory Master Program video series, in today's session we will see hands-on how to extract gzip and zip files from the blob using the 16 steps in this particular Azure Data Factory. Exactly, we follow 16 steps to finish this particular lab. Let's see the prerequisites. So prerequisites, if you see, I need a two storage accounts. One is for the source, another one is for the sink. Then I need one Azure Data Factory. Within that, I'll be using Azure Integration Runtime, which is the default one. Then I'll create a two linked services. One is for source blob, one is for sink blob. Then I need two data sets. One is for source blob, one is for sink blob. Then I'll be using a same activity called copy activity. Then we will be using a ingestion pipeline for ingesting the data from blob to blob. But this time we will see if we have a gzip in the source side, how we can able to extract and load it into the target. Similarly, if we have a zip file, how we can able to extract that file and load it into the target. Okay, these two files only I have seen in most of the use cases in my projects also. So that's what we will see. Okay, let's see hands-on steps. If you see, I'll create a source blob, I'll create a sink blob, then I'll be creating ADF. Fourth step is I'll just upload all the required files, like as I mentioned, so like all the zip files, right? Real data.csv, custody.csv, custody.json. Instead of uploading the actual data, what I'll be doing, as you know, I'll be compressing the data and I'll be uploading the gzip and zip file. So step by step I'll show you. First I'll upload gzip and I'll extract it. Then I'll remove the gzip and I'll upload the zip file and I'll extract and load it into the sink blob. So I'll be creating a source side cust folder, sink side cust. Then sixth step is I'll open the Azure Data Factory. Next, I'll create source linked service, sink linked service, source data set, sink data set. So I'll be using the next step is create a pipeline. In that, drag the copy data activity. Source side, you select the source data set. Sink side, I'll select the sink data set. So now, next 15th step is very important at the source side. As we are going to read the zip file at the source side, we need to do this configuration at here, right? So what are those things before you run the pipeline you need to follow? First one is, so we need to select the type of compression. Is it a zip or gzip? If you look at zip is a more versatile compression format that can compress multiple files. So zip is mainly used for compressing the multiple files, but there is a problem with the zip is it is lossy compression. What is meant by lossy compression is, if you look at some of the images and all, if you compress them, the quality of the image will be reduced. Like that, the data you are going to lose, because the type of zip is itself, the algorithms which are going to run in the backend is which is basically adjustable. So what it means, what is exactly the compression? I'll take 1 minute to explain to you. Let's imagine you have a files and data. This will be converted into zeros and ones. Now what happens, there is a lot of data will be repeated. When the lot of data is repeated, instead of repeating those zeros and ones, there is the algorithms, what they will do is through the metadata they will be referencing the same values in the multiple places instead of repeating the same values in all the places. Let's say you have welcome to Cloud Pandit 10 times, right? So instead of passing welcome to Cloud Pandit 10 times, through the metadata they'll just pass once and they'll say, hey, here welcome to Cloud Pandit should be there, here welcome to Cloud Pandit should be there. That particular thing, when you decompress, that particular replacements will happen. So that's where the exact power of zipping and gzipping, all these compression techniques will come into the picture. Now zip, what they will do when they see the repeated characters or adjustable character, meaning very small difference is there, those numbers they will be able to adjust that. So that's why the accuracy is not that much. That's why we can say zip is a lossy compression. When it comes to the gzip, they are not going to adjust anything, exact values will be passed. That's why gzip is a faster compression format that is better suited for compressing a single file. It is mainly recommended for compressing the single file, but there is no loss in the data if you use gzip. If you are using the zip, there is a loss. And yeah, so remaining things I'll discuss next. When you are configuring the source data set side, we have gzip and zip. There are two options that we need to choose: fastest and second one is optimal. Fastest means you need a speed. Doesn't matter whether data is your quality of compression is good or not, but the speed you need. If you need to copy data quickly, even if the resulting file is not optimally compressed, then we can go for the fastest. If it is optimal means if you need to save space on the destination data store, we want to worry about the storage, then we need to go for the optimal. So even if it is taking the longer to copy, there is no problem. In that case, we need to go for the optimal. So as we are going to deal with the ggip and zip, so for ggip I'll show you fastest, optimal, or for other one I'll show the other options. Both we are going to cover in our scenario. Scenario 1, we will see how to create ggip file and extract the file using the ADF phase. If you see, so source data set side I'll be putting this particular .gz, and that I'll use the ggip with the optimal option, and I'll come like extract it. Similarly, if you see how to create zip file and extract that file from the ADF phase, I'll create the zip file and I'll show you how to extract this particular zip file and load it into the target database. So next session I'll show you, if we have the vice versa, if you have a CSV file, instead of you creating manually zip files or zip files, can we create these things through the ADF? Yes, that is also possible. So we will see that in the next session. Let's not waste any more time. Let me move on to the practicals. Okay, so in this practical, the first step is create source blob, sync blob, and ADF. Let's finish these 3 steps. Okay, so portal.azure.com, go inside cloudpandit@gmail.com. okay, go to search for storage accounts here, storage accounts, go inside storage accounts, click create storage accounts. Okay, so here I'll be creating a cloud pandit dev-rg. As we discussed in our earlier session, the resource group is basically for each source system, each environment. Okay, source blob 1, so it is available. Just click create. Running final validation, this name is available or not, it will check, because the names are globally unique. So if the name is available, then it will enable to create. So it is available, it is enabling to create, it is created. Now second storage I'll be creating sync storage. Okay, let's create our sync storage. Just to click on this particular storage account, then click create storage account, come down, select this particular dev-rg, and you can say cloud pandit sync ad sync blob 1. Okay, then click review plus create. So here also the name which we have given is going to be validated with the globally, and if this name is available, it enabled, we have clicked create to create the sync blob. Now I'll be moving on to the Azure Data Factory login. Let's create the data factory now. Okay, click on not database, search for data factories. Sorry, click on data factories, go to data factories, click create data factory. So this is dev-rg cloud pandit ADF 1408. Okay, then click review plus create. Running final validation, click create to create the Azure Data Factory. Okay, so now if you look at, we just completed the 3 steps, right? Creation of the source blob, ADF, and sync blob. I'll open the source blob and I'll upload the ggip file. Okay, so before that, let's go to the source blob, go to resource. So how to create the container? Come to containers, click on container, click container. So I'll be just creating the cast. Okay, click create. Inside the cast, what we will do? Inside the cast, I'll be uploading the data. So, but how to create the zip file? So click upload. Okay, so browse for files. Now if you see here, I'll be moving on to the cloud pandit data sets, and get comma here 19th folder. If you go, so this file I want to create a zip gz. Okay, gz. So I have installed the 7-zip. Okay, so I'll show you at the end of the session how to install the 7-zip if you are not aware. So quickly go to the last few minutes of the session to see how to install the 7-zip. Okay, now click on the add to archive. Once you click on the add to archive, here you have different types of compressions that you can able to apply. I'm just applying the ggip. Click OK. So this is manually I am creating the ggip. This is the ggip. Open this. Okay, once you created the ggip, you can upload this. Okay, now I uploaded this gzip file from the CSV. I uploaded. Okay, I created this gzip from the CSV. Source side file is available. Now sync side. So this is a sync blob. I will be creating a cust out. Come to container, click container. This you can say cust out, click create. So inside cust out, I need to upload the file. Okay, so instead of uploading file, you need to extract this gzip file and you need to put it here. Okay, so next step is, so cust out also finished. We need to open ADF and we need to create two linked services, two data sets. Let's finish up to 10th step. Go to Azure Data Factory. Okay, so open Azure Data Factory. Then we need to create a two linked services. One is for source, one is for sync. Two data sets, one is for source, one is for the sync. So come to manage. Let's create a linked services. This is for the blob storage. Okay, this is a blob storage. And if you see this, ls for blob. Okay, source. Come down, select the subscription. Storage account name is source blob one. Test connection. Create it. Similarly, we also need to create a sync linked service. Let's create that. Okay, sync linked service. So you can just select blob, ls for blob sync. Okay, so this is the just sync blob. Test connection successful. So two linked services we created. Now let's create two data sets. Okay, so go inside the author. Let's create two data sets. Click on this, click new data set. Okay, what we need to do, we need to create the blob data set. CSV ls, instead of ls you need to say ds blob source data set. Linked service is this. Okay, browse it, select cust and select this gzip file. Okay, select this gzip file, click OK. Okay, similarly we need to create a sync data sets. Click on this, click new data set. So for the blob, select blob CSV. Okay, ds for blob sync. This is a sync linked service. Browse it, select that I want to extract the file and load it into the custode. Okay, this is how the sync dataset should be there. So total you create now 10 steps. Now you need to create a pipeline that you need to drag the copy activity. You configure source dataset, sync dataset. 14 steps. If you finish it, then I'll tell you what you need to do. Okay, let's click on the pipeline 11th step. Call this as a PL underscore ingestion. Okay, then you drag the copy data activity. Source you can configure it. What is your source? Source is this, sync is this one. So source side, what I want to do is, as you know, source side it is not a plain CSV file, it is a zip file, but I selected the format is CSV. So what you can do is open this particular source data set. We need to say, hey, the format is not CSV, the file is compressed file, it is of type gzip. As I mentioned, there are two things that you can do, fastest and optimal. Fastest means you can save the time, optimal means you can save the storage, what you want to do. So as per our scenario, what we wanted to do, let's go with one of these, not an issue, which one we thought of doing. Let's go with optimal. Let's go with optimal with the gzip. Okay, so only these two things you need to configure it. Once you configure these two, now total 15 steps. This is also 15th step also done. You open the source data set, you configured it. Now finally you need to run the pipeline. Let's run this pipeline. Okay, this is done. Let's see what happened exactly inside this, right? So one file it read and one file it has written. So in which way it has written into the output, let's see, refresh it. See, credit one underscore daily dot CSV, it just came now. It is a CSV file. You can able to read this particular file. The data also you can able to see here very clearly, correct? Now what we will do, I'll be deleting this just to make sure in the next output we are not seeing this particular file, because the next scenario is we need to take the zip file. This is gzip. Instead of gzip, I want to take the zip file. So to take the zip file, what we need to do? What we need to do is, again you need to go to the source, upload. So very careful observe. So step one before you do the scenario two is you need to delete the data which is there in the source storage and sync storage respective containers. Now second step is upload the zip file in the source container. Step 2 is upload the zip file. So how to create zip file? From here to here, shift select all these things, right click on any of this, and you can say same 7-zip you can use to say that. Okay, what you can say, okay, maybe you can say add to archive to make the customized name for this. Instead of saying 19, I'll say cust.zip, cust.zip, then click OK. Okay, see cust.zip file is created, click open now. Okay, once you open this, tomorrow we will see how to create this zip file like through the ADF. Instead of we creating, we will see tomorrow. Okay, this is cust.zip. If you open this, you cannot able to read. There are a lot of files are there, so you cannot able to read this file, correct? This is a compressed file. So what we need to do now, we need to see how to extract this file, and extracted files I want to load it into custard. For that, so step 2 is finished. Step 3 is open your source data set again, change this particular file name. Okay, so browse it, select cust. Yesterday we have discussed wildcard file options. That also you can able to use star.zip, star.gz to read the respective files. So source side, I changed the source file which I supposed to read. Sync side, same folder in which we want to load the data. And once you come here in the copy activity, source data set side, only we need to make the little changes, because source data set side earlier we said gzip, but now it is not a gzip, it is a zip. So what type of compression you want to do? I want quickly, so fastest. Okay, you can use the fastest. Come to ingestion pipeline, debug this. Okay, so if you look at this particular copy activity, so copy activity is in progress, it is succeeded. If you click on this, so the files read is 1, but files written is 6. So meaning the zip file, one zip file it read, and it has written the 6 files here. So go inside, you will be able to see this particular files. So how we can able to get this particular files into the that particular main folder, that also we can able to do, that we will see in the next session, okay. So now let's quickly go through the some of the summary questions. So we discussed, if you see the scenario 1, we have seen gzip and how we can extract it. Zip also we have seen. Okay, zip is lossy compression, gzip is loss, there is no loss in the uh, compression. So summary questions, if you see, when transferring data using the Azure Data Factory copy activity, what is the primary difference between fastest and optimal compression settings? As I said, fastest means to save time, optimal means to save the storage. Very simple. So if you see, fastest focus on achieving smaller compression file sizes. No. Fastest prioritize quicker data transfer, optimal is smallest compression files. The answer C is correct. Okay. Yeah, like B and D says both are same, but not both are same. Fastest is basically for saving the time, optimal for saving the storage. So answer C is correct. So in Azure Data Factory copy active, when should you choose optimal compression setting over fastest? Optimal for saving the storage. So if you want to complete data transfer as quickly, no. When you are less concerned about optimizing storage space, no. When you want to prioritize speed and efficiency, no. When you want to achieve the highest compression efficiency, optimize storage space. The option D we are going to use for the optimal, because we want to compression efficiency and optimize the storage space. So option D. So which of the following compression format is lossless? Lossless means gzip. Answer B is correct. Which of the following is lossy compression? zip. A. Okay, answer A. Next. Which statement accurately describes the applications of zip and ggzip compression format? Zip is commonly used for web image optimization. No, zip is suitable for efficient compressing text-based, while ggzip is more effective for multimedia and binary. Yes, the answer B is correct. So both are used for same. No, both are for multimedia. No, zip is suitable for efficiently compressing text-based files, while ggzip is more effective for multimedia and binary data. Option B is correct. Okay. Thank you all. I request all of you to subscribe my YouTube channel and support me and encourage me to do more videos. I'll be covering almost in and out of the copy activity. That's where you are seeing series of labs on the copy activity from blob to blob, only multiple videos I have seen. So there are a lot more things that we can able to do. Everything in and out I'll be covering. Don't worry. Please stay tuned with my YouTube channel. And let's discuss the last and final thing that I told. We need to learn how to download. Okay, how to download 7-zip. Okay, for Windows. If you see, you can just click on 7-zip. Okay, 7-zip. You can come here, click download. Okay, once it is downloaded, now you can just see I just installed a few minutes back only, just to learn, right? So because for you also it should be learned, so not only myself, because normally I cannot able to compress with ggzip. That's why I just found it a ggzip we can able to do. Okay, this is how you can able to, you just install. Okay, close it. So now once you go here and click on any of the file, okay, right click, you will be able to see, click show more options, you will be able to see the 7-zip after this installation. Okay, if you have any question, feel free to put your questions in the comment section. I'll answer all of your questions too. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.